found out that
just between you and me,
just between you, me, and the English-speaking world,
yeah,
top secret, that the government have now given a contract out to a company called Commonwealth, several $1 million, to analyse with AI the yellow card system. And
wow,
when you trace back Commonwealth, they're actually a subsidiary of a company in America called Genpack, and their biggest customers are AstraZeneca and Pfizer. So no conflict of interest there. That's the contract has been given by the MHRA, who are 86% funded themselves by Big Pharma,
yep.
to a company which is funded by Big Pharma to investigate complaints against Big Pharma using AI. Had I been in the chamber on Thursday, it was a bit hectic last week, I would have raised this issue with, and I know that she loves answering my questions. Penny Morgan loves answering my questions.
Yeah.
She looks forward. She would have missed me on Thursday, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I will have her. We'll have to ask the government these questions about the conflict of interest once again that the new company appointed to protect the British public are completely owned and in hoc, but their biggest customers are Big Pharma and the vaccine manufacturers. So nothing to see here, nothing suspicious at all.
And there's new plants planned, I believe, 100 million doses a year to be produced in Canada, 100 million doses a year to be produced in Australia. Maryland, of course, the home of Moderna, we believe that's expanding as well. So,
well, it all fits in with the WHO treaty, which I spoke about a week or so ago, and the changes to the international health regulation, which you've commented upon. I think that the plan is clearly set in place that those are going to be approved worldwide. That's going to give huge powers to the WHO to call these public health incidents of international concern, abbreviated to FAKE, John. It's quite interesting. It's a FAKE. For any reason, they can do it for environmental reasons, human pathogens, animal pathogens, or the risk of a pathogen, CO2 levels, huge powers. But what's clear is that the WHO made a lot of mistakes in their dealing with the last pandemic, and they haven't learned from it. So they're still maintaining that the only solution to pandemics is novel mRNA vaccination. Well, they're still not admitting that there were effective treatments, antivirals, and prophylactics which could have been used. Ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, vitamin D. Vitamin D is something as simple as that. They're still not admitting any of that. So clearly, if we're heading on this path to the WHO having control of the world during a pandemic, called and decided by them, and their answer is mRNA technology. I mean, Moderna are onto a huge bonanza. I think at some risk, huge risk to the public, especially when you look at Dr. Joseph Fryman's reports based on data from America, that the Moderna mRNA COVID-19 vaccine was potentially the one with the highest number of serious adverse events, with 1 in every 662 from Moderna's own data would be resulting in hospitalisation or death.
Yeah, I had a Moderna vaccine, and I deeply, as with you, I deeply regret that. So the national governments would basically be obliged to implement, using the power of the state, dictates dreamt up by unelected, often poorly qualified people in Geneva, often not paying international taxes, we believe, with diplomatic immunity, or a form of diplomatic immunity.
I can't think of anyone who could be more unaccountable or remote from the concerns of my constituents in northwest Leicestershire. I think they're the last people that we'd want. And I mean, obviously, I was fairly vocal during the referendum on leaving the European Union. I led the Leave campaign, which was very successful in the East Midlands. My own seat voted by 61% to 39% to leave. The East Midlands was 59% to 41% to leave. It wasn't close here. And the people in my area of the country voted that they didn't want to be ruled by unaccountable, unelected bureaucrats from Europe. Well, I mean, anyone who was concerned about the loss of sovereignty to the European Union, I mean, that's nothing compared to the powers that we'll be giving away to the WHO. We've got a very, very dubious history of respecting human rights. Oh, well, I mean, Article 3, the human rights aspects, they're all being rewritten and they're taken out. So there won't be any respect of human rights in their charter anymore. It's going to be a bland statement that everyone will be treated with equity. Well, if they're treating everyone fairly badly, John, that's equity, isn't it? Yeah. And I don't want that for my constituents. I don't want that for my family, and I certainly don't want that future for my children. So I'm going to be opposing that all the way.
Do we need medical advice from the WHO? Have you not got any doctors in North West Leicestershire? Have you not got any scientists?
We've got some of the best universities in the world, and also there's a huge risk of a one solution problem for the world. If the WHO get it wrong, and they've certainly got, I believe, a very bad track record, that's the whole of humanity finished. If different countries adopt different strategies, at least we can also learn from them and say, well, that's working well in Sweden, and that's not worked in Australia, and we've done this. We can share best practice, and also, our populations will behave differently to different stimuli due to traditions, and we've got different climates which could well affect. It's summer in the UK when it's winter in Australia, and that can affect, as you know, viral spread. So how could one policy for the whole world actually be applicable and relevant, given all the geographic and demographic differences? A one-size-fits-all. I think, as I said in that debate on the WHO, if there was only one car available for everyone, I'm not sure it would be the best car we could have without any competition or innovation.
Absolutely, yeah. Last question, Andrew, and thank you for all the time you've given us. We shout loud about democracy in the United Kingdom, but it only works really realistically through the party system. So where does this leave you at the moment, personally? And just answer this to the degree you'd like to.
Well, I've been expelled from the Conservative Party. I could appeal, but given the way the original, the spurious nature of the original allegations of anti-Semitism and racism, and bringing the party into disrepute, I don't have a great confidence. I think there's a lot of politics being played out here. I think they want to silence me. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. I think as long as I am elected, I will speak out, and the next election I will be standing, and my future will quite rightly be in the hands of my electorate, and I'll be judged at the ballot box, and I think that's quite right.
Absolutely, yeah. Mr. Andrew Bridgen, Member of Parliament, North West Leicestershire, biologist and campaigner. So many people appreciate. We just feel that you're speaking for many people that are otherwise voiceless. So, and
that's what keeps me going, John. Whenever I feel isolated, I look at my emails, and it's fine.
And I suspect we might get a comment or two under this video, Andrew, as well. So.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah. It's Saturday morning. Please spend some time with your family. Thank you for giving us up this time, and we will be following you with interest and appreciation. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.